welcome to this edition. Welcome another edition of Ital Mukase. We're making lunch this time. So we're making banku and okro stew, but it's not the regular banku. We're making the cauliflower banku today. Feel adventurous? Yes, let's do that. What we need for this, for the banku, we need cauliflower, of course. Depends how much you want to make, but for this we'll just make this much. And then for the, of course, for the banku also you need 1 lemon. People use sauerkraut. We can talk about that in another episode or something, but you can always replace that with lemon juice, which you're going to use 1 lemon to make. And then the other stuff that we need, that also people use some type of binder agent. We'll mention that in the description and all of that. But we'll be using just plain oats. We melt some oats, and that's what's going to help to bind this together, and this will make it sour to give it the banku taste. Alright? Okay, now for the stew, what we need, of course, our okra, fresh okra, and eggplant or garden eggs. Garden eggs are really hard to come by in New York City. They're very expensive too if you find them. So you always feel free to use eggplant as a replacement for that. And then also we have our protein, which is, or our protein replacement, which for today is some mushrooms. And see what I have here. I have some different types of mushrooms. I showed you that one, which are like regular portobellos. But I also have 3 other different types of mushrooms. I have shiitake, dried shiitake mushrooms. I have this strange, not strange, but it's some type of mushroom that I bought from H Mart. Now it's very close to the mushrooms in Ghana, dried, dehydrated of course, but it's slightly different, and it was all, I think, Korean written on the pack, so I can't even really tell you what it's called, sadly. But I also have some mushrooms from the motherland itself. Seasonal, organic, African mushrooms from Ghana, these ones, right? These are the ones we pick, dried, dehydrated, sent to me by my brother from Roots Organic Farms. So that's where you can get it from, if you want it. But it's seasonal, and it's gathered, right? So if it's available, it's available. If it's not, it's not. You know, that's how it works. All right. And then also we need some palm oil, which is going to be the oil that we used to make all of this. Obviously, I got my utensils. You definitely need this, right, to make the mashy, drivey, you know, to make the banku. But yeah, we also need some onions, some garlic, some peppers, and some tomato sauce or regular tomatoes. Like I said to you before, this is New York City. You don't always find the freshest of everything, so occasionally you might use 1 or 2 canned stuff, right? And this is one of those times. We're using tomato sauce, canned tomato sauce, and of course my seasonings and spices, right? Basically that's it. Alright, so we'll start cooking in a second, but these are my ingredients, and let's get it cracking. For the first part, let's start the banku whilst we still have time to prep up, for the stew. First thing we want to do is we want to rehydrate, and I say that carefully because you don't want to do it all the way, right? But you want to rehydrate the dried stuff a little bit, just so it's ready to go in with the other stuff. Okay, so let's do that right now. Put it in a bit of hot water or warm water, just so it starts blowing back out, and as you get it ready for the fire. Alright, so we cut up our cauliflower. cauliflower is a very, very, very versatile vegetable. You know, it's a vegan's treat, man. It's just like it can be used for so many different imitation stuff. It's crazy. Yep. I've had cauliflower that was made to taste like chicken. You know? And here we are making banku of all things out of cauliflower. It's crazy. But yep, it's one heck of a versatile veggie. Alright, now let's cut it up into size where we can blend it. I like to cut a good part of the stalk out. And just cut it up into just sizes that are manageable enough for you to blend. There you go. Now we get our blender. Good old Ninja. But before we throw it in there, you want to wash it a bit, you know. This thing's probably been washed a dozen times, or at least a few times before it was packaged, but still, hey, I always want to wash my my food if it's coming from outside or wherever it's coming from before I make it, before I eat it. Just wash it. So if you use a strainer to wash it, it's really easy because water just kind of goes around it. That's it. Now put it in here to blend. And then you add just about enough water to blend it, because you don't want it to be too liquidy. You know, you just want it to have a certain texture, but you need water for it to blend. So you just have to add just about enough water to get that process going. Cold water preferably. I think this will turn it. I think this is just about enough to turn it. And let's blend this. That's it. All right. Okay. Looking good. Looking really good. Okay, so this guy here. Give me a prep bowl. Alright, give me a strainer. Strainer. Alright, just rinse it a little bit. Leave that for a bit. Now, what you're gonna do is throw all this in the strainer. In the meantime, we're gonna set a pot of water on fire, right? Because it has to be ready for this. So hold on a sec while I set the pot on fire, and I'll be right back. It has to be really little water, you know, because first of all, you're trying to get the water out of this anyway. So it has to be not too much water in there. I wonder who discovered this. Seriously though, that's one thing I always want. who sat down and said, cauliflower can be made into banku of all things? Like, seriously. I don't know, man. Anyhow, whoever it is, thank you. Okay, I think we have a good amount of the water out. This is water that some people would not waste at all. I mean, if I was making soup or something, I'll throw this in there because it's full of all the energy from the veggie, right? But you don't want it in the banku. It's gonna slow you down. So now, as you can see, the water is boiling. And like I said, you really don't need a lot of water, right? A lot of water will mess you up. So what you're gonna do is throw the cauliflower thing in there, right? And then what you're doing now, at this point, I will turn down the heat a little bit because you want to be able to manage what's going on. You don't want it to overwhelm you, you know? And start stirring, stirring, stirring. Okay, now this is the point where you throw in your lime juice first of all, and also the wheat, right? So let's take a look at this. I got some wheat, but I need to mill it so it doesn't become lumpy in the thing, you know? This is what's going to bind it, and you don't need a whole lot really, you just need about enough to bind it. Alright, so we throw in our wheat, our oats, and already, as soon as it gets in there, you can already see the action happening. It's beginning to bind it, you know, it's beginning to bind it. Now, this is how people also make fufu. If we were making fufu, this would be it. It would be story told, right? But we're making banku, so we have one more thing to throw in here. Stay with me. That's how it looks. Right. Now for taste, right, because we want it to taste like banku, it needs to be tart, it needs to be sour, right? So that's why I told you people would use things like sauerkraut, but you can also use just lime or lemon. I'm going to use lemon, alright? Follow me. Cut it up, so you don't get the seeds in there though, but I'm just going to squeeze it in right now, straight away. And you can see it forming. See, this is why you really need to squeeze the water out of it, because it affects the texture. You know, you need to get the water out. Otherwise, you need to compensate for it by letting it stay on the fire for a little longer, just to dry out the water, you know. But now I think we're getting closer to the texture that we want. And yep, we are. Look at that. It looks like the Winneba Etzel. That's what it looks like. Yes, indeed. Now it's ready. We are about to make the balls. You know, people make them all different kind of ways. I'm about to make the stew, so I want to keep it warm and everything. So I'm going to use some of this guy here. Come on, to do exactly that. Cauliflower banku already. But the the stew is not ready yet. So hold on, let me form these and then we'll go and make the stew and come back and eat, alright? Hold on. Stand down the stove. All ready to eat. But let's go make the stew, like I said. So now let's make the stew. Just like we did with the cauliflower, we're gonna wash our okra using the same method, the strainer. You're chopping it. You don't really want it to be too smooth. So what I do is I pulse it. I pulse it. I pulse it. Pulse. Pulse. Go. Come on. Pulse. 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 And that's it. So you notice it didn't break all the way down, right? It's a little chunky because that's how you want it. You don't want it to be smooth. There's another method, that's for making okra soup. We're not making okra soup, we're making okra stew. So you don't want to, break it all the way. I throw it in this pot. And now you come back to the eggplant. It. Chop it up again. With this you could chop it up too, but in a hurry, live in New York City. I'm gonna blend this too, just not gonna blend it all the way either, just like the first one. Let's go. As usual, enough water just to make it turn. I think we're good. Move this guy down for a year. Come. And pulse it. Just like the other one. Right? Pulse. There you go. Pulse. Pulse. We're good. See? All chopped up really nicely, but rough, okay? Not smooth at all. Throw that in here as well. And then let's add some water for it to boil. What I do is sometimes I'll just rinse out my blender because it's got more stuff in there anyways. Throw it here because that's the water you need. Not too much water, please. Not too much water. Not too much water. Not too much water at all, because too much water is gonna affect the texture and everything. So now you make sure that the two are very well mixed together. Now, some people would add saltpeter and stuff like that, or baking soda just to keep the slime, right? So I'm gonna throw in some pink salt. Just a little bit, just to keep the slime. Not really for taste at all, it's just to keep it slime. Right? Throw that in there and then turn it on. Turn on the stove. Okay. And we're gonna have this boil, and that is going to be the base for our stew, right? All nice and slimy and ready for Almost. Not really. Okay, in the meantime, let's go prep the rest of our stuff. So, while the okra is boiling, what you want to do is get the rest of your stuff ready. Remember, we started rehydrating our mushrooms, so that's over there. What you really want to do at this time is start steaming it, right? So we put it in the pot. You know, they're all blown back to a good size, right? So you put all of them in the pot, and then you get the fresh ones that didn't need any rehydration, so had stayed in the pack. You get a couple of them. You're not using everything. Chop them up. I like big chunks, I like big pieces. I don't like chopping them up in small pieces at all. Some people like slice them and all that. No, I like big pieces because it just tastes nicer. And then I don't like stew that's just like one-dimensional, you know, like chunks, plain, bit of everything together, you know. So right now, this is going to be our protein or protein replacement. This would have been meat and fish and all type of things in regular recipe, Ghanaian recipe. Because this is ITAL vegan, this is what we're going to use in place of meat. We're going to season this. In the meantime, what you want to do is to be preparing your seasoning and spices, you know. So what I got here is some garlic, which I'm going to peel. FYI, this is a chore. I hate peeling garlic. I don't like peeling garlic. But I don't like the peeled garlic either. I go to the supermarket and I find already peeled garlic. Someone thought of me, but no thank you. I'd like to peel my garlic. Much as I hate to do it. I'll do it. Anyhow, so alright. Have some peeled garlic and some ginger. I actually like to go heavy on my garlic, really, you know. I'm a garlic person. I like to go heavy on my garlic. And I cook almost nothing without garlic, except breakfast. I mean, except cereals and stuff like that, but almost everything I make has garlic in it. And ginger, a lot of the times too. Wash that. The good wash. And throw it in a blender. Use this small guy. Then we add some onions. Throw in some onions. And then you throw in the big black peppers. Sometimes what I like to do is go pretty easy on the peppers and drop them in the soup itself. So if you want more heat, then you kind of squeeze it in yourself. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm not going to throw in the pepper right now, okay? All right. So let's blend this. A little bit of water, just enough to make it turn. Even though nothing has gone on the fire in terms of the stew yet, it's already smelling crazy nice in here, right? The blend of all the seasoning, the spices together. Fire no touch am yet too, but yo, voila, yeah. So you see the okra boiling really nicely. And you see it's kept a lot of the slime, if not all of it. Right? Meanwhile, your mushrooms is also seasoning very nicely. Now what I would do at this point is throw in my seasonings, right? So I have a little bit of time add in my thyme. Add in a little bit of basil. Oh gosh, I think I went OD on that. Let me shake this out because I think I went OD on that. Alright. Okay, and then comes the adobo. And after you've done all these, then you bring in the stuff that we just blended, right? Some ginger, all of that good stuff. Throw some in there, generous amount, but not all of it, save some for the actual stew. Now this okra should be cooked by now, so we turn off the stove. You don't want to cut the slime, because the thing with okra is the more it cooks, the less the slime stays, right? If you overcook it, it cuts the slime right out. And what is okra stew without the slime? I mean, there's types of okra stew that you make, which is kind of like, but really you want your slime, so stay. That's why I took it off the hot plate and put it in the resting area so it doesn't cut the slime. In the meantime, our meat replacement is seasoning. It smells so good. Oh my God. So to begin the process, I tip my okra because I want to use the same pot. I have different pots for different things, But I want to use the same pot, so I'm just going to tip my okra out to a bowl and just use the same pot, right? The first thing you do is you want to pour in your palm oil. Now this particular palm oil was sent to me from Ghana by my mom. She makes palm oil herself. She makes the best palm oil anybody ever tasted. How many buyers? Possibly, but at least one of the best. She makes some amazing palm oil, alright? And this is some of it. So that is gonna go in here. And mom, I'm running out, so replenish, alright? I'm running out. If I show you the gallon right now, we're about home. Wasa. So make some more for me, please. Alright. So here we have our palm oil. In there. At this point we're going to chop up some more onions because we needed to deodorize the palm oil. Now remember I said my mom makes the best palm oil? She really does. You know why? Because a lot of the palm oil that you use, you need to deodorize it before you use it. When my mom makes palm oil, you really don't need to deodorize it, right? Because she kind of has her own method of deodorizing it before it gets off the mill. But anyhow, just so you know how to make this, you're just gonna deodorize it anyhow. Deodorize it with the onions. You make it, you give it a good fry. Make sure it's almost change color, right? And then we throw in our meat replacement. See all the goody stuff? You throw it in here. After you feel like the onions are, the oil is well deodorized and the onions are already beginning to change color, they're already beginning to feel like kind of crispy, then you throw in your meat replacement. And I'll throw that in with the stock, right? But sometimes I just want to want my meat replacement to kind of like crisp up a little bit. So I'll just leave it like that for a bit before I throw in the stock. Yep, so at this point what I'll do is I'll cut those nice peppers that we didn't want to throw in because we don't know if everybody likes that much pepper, and then we'll throw them in here. Leave my meat replacement in there for a little bit just so it crisps up a little bit before I throw in the rest of the stuff, you know. Otherwise I'll just throw in everything. But it depends what I'm using. For this, I want it to crisp up a little bit. So I'll just set it up, let it keep going for a little bit before I add the rest of my stuff in there. It smells so amazing in there, Nana, yo. All right. Now, this is where we use the sauce. You could use tomatoes. I actually have real tomatoes, you know, that I could use. But just for the purpose of this show, I just wanted to emphasize the fact that I live in New York City and I don't always get everything fresh, okay? So this show is ITAL, no question, but we use things like this, right? Which is not terrible, but it's processed. That's all I'm trying to say. When we didn't ITAL, we just want to go in the back and pluck out the califlower and the tomato and everything and just chop it up and cook it. Right now, we have to make do. That's what I'm saying. So even though I have a tomato, I'm gonna use tomato sauce for today. All right. And look at this fancy thing my wife got from the store. We always had headaches opening things, you know, and then she got this thing. See how it works. You see? Can you see? All right. Great. Do you see what's happening though? And then you press it again and it's done. And this little guy is open. Now, the thing again with okra stew is you don't want to use too much tomato sauce because that cuts your slime and you don't want that. Alright? So let's use just a little bit. And save the rest for something else. At this point, we're going to throw in more of that condiment that we made, right? More of the ginger and the garlic mix that we made. Throw more of that in there. I'm going to turn back up the fire just to bring up the heat. Almost done. Now after it's cooked down a bit, and what you want to make sure of is that most of the water in the tomato paste is kind of like, you know, absorbed or cooked out. And then that's when you want to bring in your okra, because remember, you don't want to catch a slime, so you throw in the okra now. And remember, the grand plan for preventing cutting your slime is two things. Number one, avoid using too much water. in any of the ingredients that you use. Number 2, make sure that the water is actually cooked out or absorbed out of the stew before you add in your okra. Number 3, do not cook it for too long. So you see, as soon as I throw in the okra, I turn off the stove and let the heat do the rest, right? Because practically it's cooked. But if you let it sit on the heat for too long, it's gonna cut the slime. So I turn off the heat, and I turn off the stove and let the heat from the plate just do the rest of it, right? And all I do is just mix it and make sure that the okra is mixed in properly, really nicely with the rest of the stew. Right? And then the other thing you don't want to do is don't use okra that's not slimy. I just got that from watching a YouTube video from one sister called Sweet Ajele or something like that. Respect says you are doing some amazing things, you know. Just that I'm vegan, so I can't eat your food, but I watch a show still, and I think you are one of the best. Respect. But yeah, I got that tip from there. Don't use okra that's not slimy. You see those stringy okra then? Leave them out, because if you mix them in with the rest of the okra, it's gonna catch a slime right out. Alright? So take note of that. But in the meantime, our ital okra stew is done. Really. And all we have to do now is to serve and enjoy it. 1 second, I'll be right back with you. I'm telling you, man, nobody can tell me I'm not eating banku. Nobody can say that. I love okra stew. I really do. And there's so many ways. I mean, there are different ways of making them. I personally have 3 different recipes for okra stew and okra soup, right? But this is just one of them. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next time on ital Mukase. Remember, everything made on this show is made with a lot of love and all natural ingredients. One love. See you next week.
I How's everything?
Everything is good. Oh my God, how have you been?
You look so pretty.
You look pretty. Look at you.
Oh, thank you, Bihana.
Whatever. What have you been up to?
Girl, so many guy issues. It's driving me crazy.
Do you have a new man now?
Yeah, this guy, he's just driving me crazy.
Driving you crazy? What's his name?
I'm not telling you his name.
Why not?
Honestly, you think I forgot what you did to me last time?
You know I was drunk. Come on.
You in this drinking business. You have to stop.
Oh, come on. What's his name?
Come and think about it. I need to give him a call right now.
Can you put it on speaker because I want to hear him?
No, I'm not putting him on speaker.
Good Lord.
Yeah, man. Chicken. Fucking.
Did he pick up?
He's not picking up. I know he's mad at me. Can I just use your phone real quick?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Seriously, what are friends for? Bihana, I need to use your phone. My phone he's just ringing. He's not picking up.
So what makes you think he's going to pick up mine?
Because it's a different phone, it's a different number, and he might just pick up, okay? So just give me the phone.
Oh my God. Okay, so can you put it on speaker so this is my phone now?
No, I'm not putting him on speaker. Bihana, why?
Hello?
Swanson, baby. I miss you.
Look here. Why don't you go back and hang out with that low-life bum you got already? Huh?
I know. Please forgive me. Please.
What did you do?
Is it okay if we can meet up later?
Ah. You sure?
I know, just forgive me. Listen, I have a lot of explaining to do. I know that. Baby. I'm gonna have something special for you too.
A little something like what?
In the green, you're better in the frame, you're better come on. You're better come on. What's so good? No, what's so more? In the green, you're better in the frame, you're better come on.
Sister, do you need another bottle of water?
What the hell? What's wrong with you? You don't see we got big things going on over here?
I was just asking if you wanted another bottle.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
It's okay, sir.
Please ain't got no damn respect yet. All right. I see you coming around. All right.
Can you just WhatsApp me the address? Yeah, just send it to me right now. And I'll see you later, okay? Bye, babe. Thank you.
Where we meet him
You're
at?
such a good friend. No, you're not meeting him. I'm meeting him.
You're going to leave me here to go meet up with a man?
Yes, Bihana.
Are you serious?
And we'll go to the movies later.
Movies? I want to meet him. You're talking about the movies?
Bihana, I'm not messing with you.
Why am I not meeting him?
Bihana, because it's my man. My man is my man, okay?
I thought we were friends.
Yes, we are friends, but seriously, once we have this conversation,
Oh, yeah?
Bihana, me and you, we need to catch up. We'll go to movies later.
So you're going to leave me here to go meet up with a man?
Oh, stop. Behave yourself. So I'll see you later, okay?
Hey, yeah.
Bihana.
Yo.
Meanwhile, as promised, Swanson WhatsApps the information to what he thought was Ya's new number.
Hello. Edward, I just say, I'm here. Hey, oh, Brooklyn. Hey, yeah, so what the fuck up? Me catch say in 30 minutes per me here car no. Say it's more than 3 hours. Why when him say me business say no. Me pay taxi asem. Oh ja nya maybe wo ya na eye bufu e atete. Me dey me pay nya maybe say wa unim. Me ni ada dey for taxi ya dey for taxi o. Say nti na ma to me car yi. Wa hu nya maybe say ya nya sa. Me nya botre nsem na o kan ye nsem gu pa na o ka kire me. Me nya botre say. Nya dey sa me dey ma me see 20 minutes per so dey ba dey bre me. The see up me ko for taxi un say no so nya dey bia me ni gire ho. Hey, me Brian say na me to. Enti fa me nko sa kwa no so kra. Na say wo ma me o tete me next time no me jida me ni hu mi sa me san nsem hu ni kra bia say me ma ka. Na ka ni me ni bi kra me dey ma. So ti ase. Sa na yo. Wo dey me twa pa. Wo dey o ba be to me ha say. Me kwa pay taxi na ma fa. Ahu ka bia wo be fa. Oh, who di agro. Me nim say sa na o ti anka man fa ka na ma. Me nim say won say sa na o ti akran ka man fa ka na ma. Na next time no. Next time. Jaja men ka sister bia ntra me ni sister bia asem. Me ni sister bia say dear sister asem. Dear sister what say me ni je say na me ni je say me den down me hu na what say me ni je na the whole day. I no so ka say. Me si jam. Won't take us an American, Missy Jamie. Leave me alone for Christ's sake. Leave me alone. I'm in copy me taxi. Well, we see me bloody time. When Penya maybe sir. Penya maybe sir. Next time be some idea man from our back 7 yet. And young dear sir. Why wouldn't say my appointment? Young dear sir, cry. Men yes, I didn't be. Me pouch up. And yeah, the mammy jaw, who ya show me before crowd.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Some baby.
Yeah, don't baby me. Yeah, I'm
What's the matter? Baby. I miss you.
Yeah, I believe that. You got me real upset, man. Real upset. About to have a heart attack.
I know. Let's just get over it. We can talk about it here, okay?
Yeah, alright, whatever, man. Alright, okay. Hey, where's the waiter? What you having? You want to have something? Where's the waiter? Well, get your ass over here. You don't see my baby here?
Hi, I'm sorry, sir. Would you like a menu?
No, I don't need no menu. What you want?
Some wings is fine.
Some wings? Alright, cool. So what? Some wings and a glass of wine and something like that.
Sure,
Yeah.
no problem.
Alright. And make it snappy.
Sure, sir.
Big pimpin' talking. You see, I'm pimping out here.
That's right. You don't only big pimpin', baby.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
So, how was your day?
Yeah. It was alright till you called. That's how my day was.
Come on, aren't you excited to see me?
Yeah, we'll see about that. You got a good game over the phone. See about that.
Swanson, don't be a headache. I'm really happy to see you, though.
You are?
Yes.
Well, it's been a long time, though. Oh, here goes the food. Get it, yeah.
Oh, thank
Yeah, it was
you.
pretty quick, man. All right.
Thank
You earned your tip today, man. Yeah.
you. It looks really good.
Yeah, that's why I come here. This is Sam's stuff. This is the truth right here. Yeah, this is the truth. Yeah. So I guess here's to
Cheers
us.
to us.
Hmm?
Yes, baby.
Yeah, girl.
Hey, Akonta!
What the hell?
What's going on, boss?
You again? Just can't seem to get rid of you, like a pestilence.
Yeah, mama, where you? What you with you?
You like a thorn in my flesh, man.
Yeah, down. Shit, okay.
Hey, look here.
What's it?
You don't have no respect?
Respect what you can know.
Yeah, don't you know that one man's meat is another man's poison?
So I don't school teachers, I didn't know what kind. I said, one man.
Yeah, well, I see you didn't learn nothing from that.
I don't want me that.
Well, it don't matter, man. What you want?
I want that. Clear my mom.
Huh?
You know my pa.
What you want here?
Come be a person who didn't say. Who say we are saying, you know? So no need be a even answer and the crime my interpret. Not a bit.
Yeah, come on, take pictures and everything, all this good nonsense he's doing.
No one. So they know what.
You and who?
I know what I can tell you.
I don't be liking this stuff, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I like it. I'm gonna tell you something. And the fuck we try to know you see, I picture me throw it. And that's what made me feel. Me sister Benya last year.
What you talking about?
That's it. But me now, sir. Send me to me now, sir. No more, I get back one with your phone, sir. Would make you my money back? Me have my money back.
What?
Me have my
get the job back?
Yeah, photo on my train. And no answer because they never do sister.
But that's blackmail. What's wrong with you?
Oh, where you female? You're black. No one said me as one do sister.
What?
Me need to talk to Channel by.
I was already playing.
Yeah.
I was already playing.
Yes, yo.
It's Swanson, baby.
Yes, yo.
Swanson is the man all the time.
I tell you.
I'm just saying.
I love you. I can't.
Hey.
I can't.
I already got somebody in that spot, but what I do for you, right? I put you in another spot over there now. I'm going to shoot a parkway there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you run that. You run that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
And also, also, mom.
Bugging out here, man.
Man, I don't know you foul.
Eat my chicken.
I'm supposed to be $1,000.
You want what? $1,000?
Not $1,000.
Shit ain't worth no damn $1,000.
Oh, I couldn't tell me yes.
Hold on.
You could also go to
I was already playing. My bad. I got you covered. I got you covered. What I'm gonna do is you just put an invoice and I take care of it.
Now, 20 minutes for taxi quick.
What? I got even $20 to take a taxi. Yeah, don't worry. I got you covered. I was just saying.
20 minutes. I could die now. I could tell me don't stop.
I was just saying.
But you're down. I can't. Maybe I could tell you. Maybe I can't. Why?
I told you about that.
The my concert.
Any speaking on my thing.
Don't
worry about all that.
I love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too.
Love you, Akata. I love you.
Yeah, man.
Bye.
I just thought of my flesh, man.
Ducker.
Tell us all of that, man.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about what?
Oh, it's your day. Just calm down.
There's nothing to calm down about. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Baby, don't worry about him. It's me and you.
It's not me.
Nah,
don't worry about the quality moment. I'm tired of this quality moment nonsense, man.
Oh, Swanson.
Second time around, this happens again. Like, I'm the sucker. I'm the player here.
You're not a sucker. You know that. You're my baby.